Good afternoon, Niner fans. What's going on? What's up? We got some news to talk about. We got training camp. 49ers every day is an eventful day. We're going to get into it. I hope everybody's having a great day. I can't talk. Tongue-tied today. It's been a busy day. Training camp. As you know, the 49ers just signed cornerback Eli Apple. He's not the greatest cornerback in the world, but they needed depth. If you guys saw training camp today and heard the press conference from Kyle Shanahan, he noted that Renardo Greed did pull his hamstring. This was a couple of days ago. We heard that he left practice because of a hamstring issue. This was Friday. Kyle Shanahan confirmed it. He says he's probably going to be out until the week of August 14th when they play the Raiders and they have joint practices and stuff. So he's probably going to be out for a few weeks, about 2 to 3 weeks. Should be back when they play the Raiders. The Niners need depth, and they signed Eli Apple. That Ninja Dan says the rotten apple. See another Josh Norman? This guy's been around the league a lot. Like, I don't know. They did, I got a video of them, and we saw them trying out some players at the end of practice. At the end of practice, sometimes you see them, they'll be working guys out. They were a little, skinnier guys. So I was like, it's either wide receiver or DB. And then when you think about the team's roster, the fact that, Renardo Green was hurt, it would look like, okay, yeah, it's definitely DBs. And then they started doing DB-specific drill, and it turns out that's who they went and grabbed. The 49ers grabbed Eli Apple. Now, again, not a lot of people are too happy about Eli Apple. Maybe he'll just be a camp body. I hope he doesn't, figure into the 53-man roster. Not that I don't want, personally don't like the guy. Just he hasn't been a great player through his career. He's gotten cooked. There's Devonta Smith tweeted out, I think it was last year, the year before. He says, I shake my head when I have to go 1-versus-1 on Eli Apple. When I see Eli Apple 1-versus-1, it's sad to hear that. I mean, he hasn't been the greatest cornerback, in his career. He's had some decent moments, but they need depth. At this point, beggars can't be choosers. You better hope that Renardo Green gets up to speed. And these hamstring issues have been an issue all year, right? You had Ricky Pearsall, who came back. We'll talk about Pearsall in his day. Renardo Green, the next victim, and Jacob Cowing, who's also going to be out for about 2 to 3 weeks, according to Kyle Shanahan. So Ricky Pearsall, he's back, but Cowing and Renardo Green, they're on the shelf now because of hamstring issues. So you just need depth, man. And then you really can't be picky on who you get when it's training camp and you need depth and you need camp bodies. I definitely think that Eli Apple is just a guy that they're going to keep on the roster for training camp depth. Maybe he can play in the special team or practice squad, and he could be a call-up later in the season. But I don't expect him to make the 53-man roster. I don't. But there's a lot of unproven guys, right? Upton Stout's a young guy who they have high hopes for. Trey Brown, Jason Pinnock, all these guys, Richie Grant, they're going to be DBs, safeties, corners on this team. And there's just a lot of unproven guys. Now, there's one guy, Jacob Robinson, undrafted out of BYU. This kid looks very, very promising. He's made plays every day at training camp. Keep an eye on this guy, Jacob Robinson. I really like what I've seen out of him. Hopefully he brings it in preseason. But as of now, the 49ers absolutely need depth at cornerback and wide receiver for that matter. So they went out and they added Eli Apple. Now, yesterday is also interesting because they tried out a lot of players. This was yesterday on their day off. I don't think I was live yesterday. So let's go over this list too. They're really looking at players to bring in for depth just in case. They went and let me find the post. Okay, so yesterday they worked out the following players. Cameron Fleming, he's an offensive tackle. Lucas Niang, he's an offensive tackle. Connor Galvin, he's an offensive tackle. Linebacker Jalen Allen, and then defensive end Travis Gibson. So they did work out some players yesterday, and we'll see if they sign anybody. They didn't sign anybody as far as, those guys. They did sign Eli Apple, and again, they did work out some players earlier today, a couple cornerbacks, and it turns out I think one of them was Eli Apple. Now, as far as training camp, Ricky Pearsall was back today. He made his debut. He wore the number 1. he looked good. He had a couple catches. I think he was like limited in team drills. They didn't want to rush him out there, but he looked good. Made 2 nice catches, a touchdown in red zone period, and then a nice little over the middle, pass by Brock Purdy to him. They had good chemistry today. I really saw, him come in and just look fluid out there. He was moving well. So first practice in the books for 2025 season, and Ricky Pearsall was nice. Again, building some nice chemistry with Brock Purdy today. Yeah, they're trying to ease him into team drills. He did all the individual drills, right? He, again, made a few catches. The touchdown was nice. It was like a little screen underslit play. And what else? He had a little screen play before that. And then it was like a little slant over the middle touchdown. It was nice. And then he worked on some punt returning. He was with the punt return group. I don't think he's going to be a punt return. He's just there. They're just trying to get him out there, loosen him up, and get him into this roster. I don't think he'll be, punt returner. But he was also there with the return group alongside Junior Bergen and Jordan Watkins. So, it's just go out there. He wants to try everything out and make sure that hamstring's right, and it looked good. So, again, Ricky Pearsall back. Now, again, we did obviously not see Jacob Cowing because he's got the hamstring injury. He's going to be out 2 to 3 weeks. We did not see Renardo Green. One very, very important note that you got to take a look at if you guys haven't seen the updates today, if you guys are just tuning in now, if you haven't seen the tweets or the posts on Instagram, Jauan Jennings left practice early today. According to Kyle Shanahan, it was a calf injury, and it prevented him from finishing practice today. He had a calf injury during OTAs. They didn't give any more information than that. They are not saying if it's the same calf that he had an issue with during OTAs and stuff. So we'll see. This is a tough situation because Jauan Jennings is in a contract situation. He's going out there. He's practicing. He's not holding out. He's not holding in. He's going through all the drills. He's playing. He's looking happy. And now he has a calf issue, and it's like, calf issues are very scary. They could become an Achilles injury and other issues. So we will monitor this. We'll get some more information. The pads come on tomorrow, and Jauan Jennings did leave practice early because of a calf issue. So to me, that's something really important to keep an eye on. And I'm a little worried. I hope it's nothing crazy. I hope it's nothing serious. But calf injuries are not the best. And, Jauan Jennings has had some calf issues this offseason during OTA. So it's like, is that going to factor into him getting paid? I don't know. It's frustrating because now I could see, like, from Jauan Jennings' side is, hey, I've done everything I've, needed to do for you guys. I'm showing up. I reported, took my physical. I'm here on the field. I'm not holding out. I'm being very, good on the field every day during practice drills. During team drills, he's been one of the best players, and he's also become, he's looking like a leader out there. It's just, he looks great, and now he's got a calf issue. Hopefully, it's, again, nothing serious, but this is the dilemma of players that don't want to practice during training camp if they're trying to get a contract. And it's a tough situation. I can see it from both sides, all right, go out there, play, don't be dramatic. But then from the players, like, I'm going to go out there and play. And if you haven't paid me yet, now I'm dealing with an injury, give Jauan his money, let him rub it on his calf. The money will make him feel better, but it's a tough situation to be in. Hopefully he'll be back and we get some updates on him as well. So let's take a look at some of these questions. Jennings calf. Yeah, I think I said Jennings calf. Hopefully that's what I said. What happened to the one kicker named Kenneth Almendarez, the undrafted? We didn't keep him on the roster. He didn't make the 90-man roster, unfortunately. I think they gave him a tryout, and then they never ended up signing him. MSQ says we got the next 49ers duo, Eli and Kyle. Apple juice. We got apple juice on the roster. Oh, wow. That's funny. We got apple juice on the roster. That's a good one, my guy. Apple juice. Sahaj says, what the heck is going on with these injuries? I don't think they're stretching. I'm telling you, man, these soft tissue injuries, I really think they're just not doing a good enough job of stretching. I see it every day when I'm out there. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing anything before, but, I mean, by the time they come out, get dressed, get on the field, take some water, do a few little warm-up things here and there. I just don't see them having a lot of time for stretching, and it's going to cause these soft tissue injuries. They should be spending at least 20, 30 minutes on stretching, and they're not. So 49ers training camp and practice go hard. They do. They practice very hard, but at the same time, the NFL is very, very tough, and you have to practice how you're going to play. You have to practice tough. And Kyle's always said, you got to build that callus. You got to be tough. You got to train hard so you can play hard. So, oh, man. Sahaj says, look at my comment. I definitely think. I looked at your comment, and I think you're right. It could be a lack of stretching. Mario says calf equals he wants more money. His pads come on tomorrow. Maybe it's Jauan Jennings just doing his thing. Maybe it's a ploy by him. I don't know. I hope it's. I mean, at the end of the day, I hope he's not playing games, and I hope he's not hurt. I hope both things are true. Now, I saw a rumor today. I don't know. I think someone posted it. It's funny because this Jauan Jennings news happened, right, where he's hurt. And I saw someone on Twitter when I was at training camp. I didn't see it like from a source report, but there's a rumor going around that Jennings and the Niners are reportedly finalizing a 2-year contract extension, bringing his total AAV to about $13 million per year. I don't know how true this is. I don't know if that's accurate. This is just tweeted out from 49ers guy. I guess he's been pretty spot on over the last few predictions. Again, this is just a rumor, and I just want to throw that out there. And now today he has the calf injury, so maybe it's contract related. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. I think that would be a great deal for Jennings if he gets that $13 million a year. I mean, I said maybe 10 to 12. I wouldn't be mad at 13 million. Now looking at this receiver situation, and then I hope it's true, and I hope he's okay. At the same time, I hope his calf issue is okay, and they don't pay a guy that's possibly going to get hurt. That's the dilemma. Now the 49ers, if maybe they did come up with this number, maybe they are trying to get him paid, and now he has the calf injury. Are they going to second guess it? It's a dilemma. So we got to get the apple juice pins ready. Let's get them apple juice pins. That's funny, man. Robbie says they can't extend him if he has an Achilles injury. Yeah, so that's the thing. You can't if he has an injury, and that's what I'm saying. It's like a dilemma for the players. That's why I said if the player has a contract extension, they don't want to go out there and practice because they risk getting hurt. And then the 49ers are going to be like, well, we're about to pay you, and now you get an injury. So I can see why players hold out, man. 100% I can see it. Sahaj says, what's going on with their medical team? Are they not doing their jobs? I mean, it seems like it, right? I mean, I feel like every year we get injured. I mean, every team gets injuries, but obviously we follow the Niners, so we see it like at a high magnitude. It's just like maybe if we start following these other teams and see how much they get hurt, maybe we're like, oh my God, Niners. I don't know. Just because we follow them and we see these updates every day, it's like, Jesus, man. But it is getting old. It is getting annoying. Every single year, you fire the head coach, you fire the head trainer, you fire this guy, you fire that guy, you bring a new strength and condition guy, and it's the same issue. So it's like maybe they have the similar plans, right? I don't know. Because you would hope that if they bring in a new guy, you're changing your plans, your nutrition, your this, your that, your workout regimen. But yeah, I don't know. At the end of the day, it's hard to really say what the 49ers are truly doing as far as their strength and conditioning goes. Again, my overall take is I just don't think they're stretching enough. So, Niner guy for life. How's my guy Hodgins looking? Isaiah Hodgins made a nice catch today. Deep pass, crosser over the middle from Matt Jones. It was a nice pass. Some guys had some of these back-end receivers are playing really good. Russell Gage, he had a nice little catch. I think it was for a touchdown, if I'm correct. Let me take my notes. Some of my tweets, but there was some really, really, really interesting players that have been standing out, and Russell Gage is one of them. Your boy Isaiah Hodgins is looking good. So let's take a look. So yeah, Ricky Pearsall, first play back, first catch back, touchdown from Brock Purdy during red zone. Patrick Taylor had a touchdown on the right sideline, little screen dump off play. Mac Jones found Isaac Guerrero for a touchdown during red zone drills. Let's see. Mac Jones finds Russell Gage. Yeah, Russell Gage for a touchdown strike during red zone drills. Brock Purdy, Ricky Pearsall had a solid connection today. And then Mac Jones hit a deep shot to Isaiah Hodgins over the middle. Great catch. Fantastic pass. It was a deep shot crosser. Isaiah Hodgins looked good. And then this was another big play. Saran Neal, he's the guy that's pretty much replacing George Odom as a special teams gunner. Saran Neal ended team drills with a pick 6 on Tanner Mordecai. So those are guys that stood out. But, yeah, your boy Hodgins looked really good today. These wide receivers are really stepping up, man. These wide receivers stepping up. There's a couple players that made some big plays. This Dallas Flowers, defensive back. He's a young player on our team on the 3rd unit. He had a nice little pass breakup. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of players are stepping it up that some of you guys may never heard of, right? So good stuff. Good stuff. There was another player. Let's talk about this guy. This is one of the bigger things of the day. Practice was good. It was going well until Teron Jackson, defensive lineman, Teron Jackson. He went down on the field. He went down. He got pancaked, and his head kind of snapped back. He got pancaked, snapped back, and the players huddled around him. And at that moment, you knew it was like, oh, this is serious. He had to get carted off. I'm sure you guys saw the update from Kyle Shanahan. He was carted off. He's in stable condition. He's communicating, and he's now been transferred to Stanford Hospital. It was definitely a very, very somber moment. It was like, oh, wow, what? Because we were like, we couldn't see who it was. We didn't know who fell down. We didn't know who it was as defensive lineman, as we knew. But when it was going on, we were like, dude, who the heck just went down? Did you guys see it? Everybody was trying to figure it out. And all the players were huddled around him. And unfortunately, it turned out to be Teron Jackson. And, I guess he's doing okay. He's in stable condition, but it's something they're going to continue to monitor. Really sad situation, and that's the scary part of football. So Steven Reynolds says, I heard Isaiah Nayer had the best source by Matt Barrows. Yeah, he had a good day today. He had probably the best catch today. Terrence says, does Nayer, I think you're talking about, make the final roster? You want us to have a big receiver? I think he has his chance, man. These receivers are really battling out. Russell Gage, Isaiah Nayer, Hodgins. These guys are really, really, really putting their heart on the line. But practice is going to ramp up. Now they got pads coming on, and then preseason starts in a few weeks. So that's the real test. Now, the thing is, if these guys continue to look good and then they get cut, they can get snagged up by another team. So it's always one of those things is, okay, which receivers are you going to have? You got to be very smart. You got to be, very meticulous with the roster. Like you probably want to put Brandon Ayuk on the PUP so you can add, maybe a Isaiah Nayer on the roster. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be close. Those three guys really have been working hard during this training camp. I don't think you're going to have all three of those guys make it. It's going to be one. And then the rest of them, hopefully they don't get snagged off waivers and you can put them on the practice squad. I think that's what the 49ers, are looking to do. Because right now, Ricky Pearsall, Juwan Jennings are going to make the roster. Most likely Jordan Watkins, the rookie, and then most likely Jacob Cowing, as long as he's healthy. That's 4. Gives you maybe one more spot at a wide receiver to crack this 53-man roster. So it's going to be a tough competition. You got Brandon Ayuk's going to go on the PUP to start the season. So Tej says, what's up, Raj? Not to be a downer, but Ricky isn't it? He's too soft. I don't believe so, man. I think, Ricky's had some, adversity. He got shot last year. He had the hamstring this year, but Ricky works hard, man. If anything, he works too hard. He's just a guy that wants to really showcase how damn good he is. He's good, man. Today on that field, he was really, really impressive. So, everybody gets hurt. Unfortunately, I know Debo was a guy that got hurt a lot because he played so hard and he took a lot of hits. So it's football. I don't think he's soft. Ricky Pearsall came back from getting shot. He had a shoulder issue last year and he still came out and balled out. I think when the dust settles, I think Pearsall will be a good player, but, these minor little injuries here and there, he's got to hopefully avoid those. But certain players, man, sometimes they're injury prone. Like in the NBA, like I love LaMelo Ball, man. I love that guy. He's one of my favorite players. But guy can't stay healthy if his life depended on it, And there's certain players in the NFL. It's like, come on, man. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and say this guy's injury prone, but Justin Jefferson last year he had a hamstring injury, and now this year he's starting out training camp with the hamstring injury. So it's just one of those things, man. Hamstring injuries, soft tissue issues are things to deal with in the NFL, and it's a frustrating situation. So, how's Luke Gifford looking? I liked him with the Titans. You know what, Niner guy? He's actually been pretty pleasantly well. I haven't seen him make any mistakes. He's going out there. He looks good. He's made a few big plays here and there. Didn't really make a massive amount of plays today, but in the first 3 days before today, I saw Gifford making a couple big plays on the ball. He had like a PBU. I think he had an interception on one of the days. But yeah, Luke Gifford's been nice. He's been a pretty good player on that defense. The defense looked good today overall, though. So everybody had some moments for the most part. Steven Pick says, like and subscribe. Please, appreciate you. Steven Pick says, Eli Apple ain't that guy. I know you're worried about Asante Samuel's neck, but if he can pass physical, I think he's worth the poke. I mean, that's the tough part. Is Asante Samuel going to be able to pass a physical? I don't know. That's where I think the issue is with a lot of teams is they're worried because neck injuries are very scary. But yeah, Eli Apple, I agree with you, Steven's picks. Eli Apple is not that guy. He's not that guy, man. Niners Twitter is freaking out, bro. The comments on Eli Apple are actually crazy. Let me see. Eli Apple, man. Let me see these comments, bro. Let's see. Oh, man. This guy says Josh Norman 2.0. This guy says, with the score tied 28-28 and 1 minute and 30 seconds left of the fourth quarter of the NFC Championship, the Eagles face 3rd and 15 from their own 47. Jalen Hurts throws a pass to A.J. Brown, who's running a post route with Eli Apple in coverage. Pass interference penalty is called, allowing the Eagles to run the clock and kick the game-winning field goal. God, what a comment. This guy says my 13th reason. Oh, man. People do not like the Eli Apple signing. Again, I just hope it's a training camp move. And again, Renardo Green can get healthy because they're going to need him. Let's see. Sahaj says, I think it's time to get Amari Cooper. I wouldn't hate that, man. I mean, they definitely got a lot of receiver issues right now, especially Jennings with the calf injury today. I would not hesitate to go get Keenan Allen or Amari Cooper. Now, I know Matt Barrows, I think, mentioned today on his podcast, him and Tim Kawakami, I think they mentioned Keenan Allen. That's a guy they're going to keep an eye on. Man, I would love to have Keenan Allen. I know he's older. I know some people are going to say he's probably washed up. I still think he has a little bit of oomph left in him. Man, if Keenan Allen can be healthy, I think he could still be a solid veteran for the 49ers. I love Keenan. Amari Cooper as well. Steven says, everybody knows what Luke Gifford is capable of. Kind of reminds me of Zach Bond, who used to be a special teamer and now is the starter for the Eagles. Ooh, man, if you can have a story like Zach Bond, that guy would be amazing. That guy, he became a stud, huh? He used to be a special teams guy, and now he got a big extension from the Eagles. He was like one of their star defensive players at linebacker last year. So, man, Luke Gifford could turn into that. That's a hell of a story. So we'll see. EB says Norman gets so much disrespect, but if I remember, his defense was the same defense, wouldn't get turnover. So the thing is, Josh Norman was he was kind of like he's kind of like Draymond Green, Dennis Rodman, where like he can make good plays. Like he'd make timely plays, not necessarily interceptions. It was mainly like the forced fumbles. Like he would cause turnovers, but he was such a headache. He caused pass interference. He'd make penalties. It was just like knick-knack penalties. And you're like, what are you doing? He'd go out there, grab a jersey, then he'd throw a tantrum. And then 2 plays later, he'd go and get a forced fumble. So it was like one of those situations where it's like so frustrating to have him on a team where he'd make more mistakes, then he made good plays. But he did have a knack for getting that ball, man. He was like a forced fumble machine, but he was so erratic and his coverage was just not good because he just hold players, pass interference. They would just throw it deep. I think it was a Packers game. We had a chance to beat them. And this man was, I'm pretty sure Devontae Adams was the receiver back. He's still on the Packers back then. And you had Norman just totally holding the guy. They get a pass interference call, and then they ended up getting the go-ahead score. God, it was frustrating, man. Niners, Josh Norman it was bad. Norman, let's see. Dondre says, what about Gabe Davis? Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. I know he's recovering from injury. He says he would love to play for the 49ers. Absolutely. Go get Gabe Davis. That's a guy that I wouldn't hate. We just got to make sure his knee's good. That's the thing. He did have an MCL, I think, surgery. So, yeah, that's one of those things where you have to monitor. If he's healthy, I'd take a Gabe Davis on this. With this roster, with the receivers, there's so many questions. So, Steven says, sucks that we're hosting the Super Bowl and we're going through a clear the books year. Yeah, it's frustrating. It's a weird year. It's like a retool, restock year. They're trying to clear the books up. We got a Super Bowl this year. I mean, we still got talent on this roster. It's not like they don't. You know, Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, and Kittle, and yada, yada, yada. We can see your name, all of them. But there's a lot of uncertainty, right? O-line, defensive backs, receiver now. Can they stay healthy? And just a lot of young players. Like, there's some good talent on the team for sure. I'm sure CJ West could be good. I'm sure Mykal Williams could be good. We don't know. They're unproven. So it is a tough situation to be in. And in a year we're hosting the Super Bowl, we want to be there. So, what are some underrated wide receivers that Niners could keep an eye on? I don't know. I don't want any underrated players. I just need them to go after some proven guys. Go get Gabe Davis. Go get Amari Cooper or Keenan Allen. One of those three. I don't want underrated guys. They got enough underrated guys on their own damn roster. You know what I mean? Steven says, do you see the 49ers keeping 4 running backs, CMC, Grendo, James, maybe Taylor? I think Taylor might be a guy that can stay on this roster. I like Kiner, but depends on how preseason goes, if they're going to feature him enough to, warrant the roster. Maybe he makes it to the practice squad. And then, of course, you got Kyle Juszczyk. He's going to have to take a role there. So I really like Jordan James. I think Patrick Taylor ends up making that last spot, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be a battle. Running backs, they all look pretty damn good. Today, Isaac Guerrero was looking very good. He was featured today because Christian McCaffrey had a day off, scheduled day off. Christian McCaffrey, Trent Williams, and Nick Bosa had a scheduled day off. And I'll tell you what, man, Christian McCaffrey with the day off opened the door for Isaac Guerrero, and he was zooming today. Looked good today. Looked very good. Pads tomorrow. Now that's the real test. Sahaj says, people are pissed off about Jake Moody, including me as well. Yeah, let's talk about the kicker competition. Today, center stage, kicker competition. Jake Moody missed one field goal. It was a 54-yard field goal. They all kicked from the same distances, 30, 34, 40, and 54. Those were the field goals today. Greg Joseph made every single one, baby. 4 for 4. Jake Moody was 3 for 4. He missed the long one. He missed the 54-yarder. So if we're keeping count at home, right now Jake Moody is 6 for 8. And Greg Joseph is 6 for 8. He missed 2 last camp. Today he missed none. Jake Moody last time missed 1. Today he missed 1. So they both missed 2 during the last 2 days of training camp. So it's a neck and neck battle between Jake and Greg. Do I think they'll cut him? Do I think they'll cut Jake Moody? Honestly, I think he's going to win this competition, but we'll see. It's Brant Boyer. It's really up to him because he's got to pick the right guy for his job. He just took the new role, right? He's the new special teams guy. He needs to make sure the guy he picks makes him look good. He's got no ties to Jake Moody, unlike Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch. Brant Boyer has no ties to Jake Moody. He's got no ties to anybody that used to be on this team. And so he brought in his own guys, and he's going to see if his own guys can beat their guys. So I don't know, man. I think Jake Moody is going to win this competition, though. Now that I bet 49ers media that it's going to be Greg Joseph, but I have a sneaky feeling that Jake Moody is going to win this competition. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. So that's pretty much it. Eli Apple, baby. Big move of the day. Pads come on tomorrow. We'll be live again after practice. We'll be there tomorrow. Training camp day 5, baby. We'll see how it goes. Steven's pick says if it's close, they'll keep Jake so Kyle and John don't look bad. I think that's kind of the vibe I feel like. You know, if it's like splitting hairs, I think John Lynch and Kyle are going to be like, oh, we got to justify this pick. But at the same time, Brent Boyer, he has no blood in the game, right? He's not going to get any blood in his hands if he gets rid of Jake Moody. There's not going to be any, he has no, no ties to Jake. So really, he's kind of an unbiased guy here. Maybe, if anything, he's probably more tied to Greg Joseph because it's the guy he brought in. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But you guys have a good rest of your day. I'll try to go live on Instagram later tonight. But y'all take care. Have a good one. Go Niners.